This is the exact same script. The exact same script. We can't have that.
Is anybody putting this together yet, how fake the whole thing is? Because I worked how long on this show? 3 years?
Yeah.
From going from not really paying attention to this stuff on purpose. It only took me 3 years for it to dawn on me how it's pro wrestling and it's completely fake. Why are other people not onto this yet? Why do people still think this is real? I don't get it.
So just to let you know, the Democrats are just as bought and paid for by AIPAC, Israel, and Mossad as anybody. And they don't. So here's Van Jones. He's supposed to be the lefty, crazy lefty, and he's on 100% on board. He's with every neocon warmonger. Let's listen.
He's buying himself some time in some room. I was also in the Holy Land very recently. I think progressives underestimate how dangerous Iran is.
The progressives underestimate. So this is, again, you could get this from Sean Hannity. You can get this from Ted Cruz. Yeah. You can get this from the head of the CIA. But instead, we're getting it on CNN, and that's why he's allowed on CNN. That's why he has a contract with CNN, because he's willing to say things like this.
Yeah, well, he should change his name to Man with a Van Jones. Yeah. He'll go anywhere for pay.
Yep.
Iran is not a normal country. Normal countries don't blind women because they showed some hair. They don't empower little gangs and proxies to surround a country and fire rockets and rape people. So Iran, the two things are clear. The what, they cannot have a bomb, and the why, because they say death to America, death to Israel, and death to all the Jews. One of those should offend you if you're progressives. At least one should offend you. And so the question, though, is the who and the how. Is Israel going to take out this nuclear capacity by dropping people there who blow it up? Or is America going to take it out by dropping a bomb that blows it up? But the what and the why are clear, and I think progressives should get on board with that. We cannot have a nuclear-armed Iran. I was in the region.
We can't have Saddam with weapons of mass destruction. We can't have that. This is the exact same script. The exact same script. We can't have that.
Is anybody putting this together yet, how fake the whole thing is? Because I worked how long on this show? 3 years?
Yeah.
From going from not really paying attention to this stuff on purpose. It only took me 3 years for it to dawn on me how it's pro wrestling and it's completely fake. Why are other people not onto this yet? Why do people still think this is real? I don't get it.
Here's what Aaron Mate says. He says, Van Jones isn't a normal sellout.
He's a very special sellout.
He's a very special sellout. So here's what the Democratic Foreign Relations Committee, the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, released this. This is it says President Trump took action against Iran tonight in what appears to be a limited, contained strike. We are still waiting to understand the extent to which that action has deterred Iran's nuclear threat. The United States must not rush into war with Iran. Unfortunately, President Trump has not continued the bipartisan tradition of regularly briefing Congress on major national security events that impact Americans around the world. American service members with 40,000 U.S. troops in the Middle East. We have 40,000 soldiers surrounding Iran. And their families will undoubtedly assume more risk with today's developments. President Trump must now de-escalate tensions with Iran and immediately brief Congress. That's Ranking Member Jeanne Shaheen. And guess what? This is what I love what Aaron Mate says. Democrats say to Trump, the next time you commit aggression on Israel's behalf, please let us know in advance so we can cheer it with more enthusiasm.
Yeah, no shit.
That's what they're saying.
Of course. I wanted to pretend to be I was supposed to have a chance to pretend to be against it this time. We're all actors. You're not being generous with the lines.
It's just amazing how it's exactly the same script.
And what do they get in trouble for, these people, whenever they try to improv? Just like real TV.
Yeah.
I worked in TV 20 years.
Yeah.
They don't like when you improv. They want you to follow the script that's in the prompter. And when you deviate, they get real nervous.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's the exact same script, just like January 6th was the exact same script they used against Bolsonaro in Brazil. This is the exact same script as Joe Dick Cheney and George Bush used in Iraq. This is the exact same script. Exact.
And George H.W. Bush's funeral, who was there? Bill Clinton, to pay his respects. We thought they were enemies when I was young.
Yeah.
But it turns out, according to W, George H.W. was a mentor to Bill Clinton. That's how he spoke on the day of H.W.'s funeral.
Yep.
I remember how that was when it was H.W. and Clinton. I would have never thought back then they're good friends. But then again, I didn't know Hulk Hogan and his rivals, Andre the Giant, were friends the whole time. I'm not that bright. I don't understand why. Is everybody this stupid?
Come see us on tour. We're going to be in Toronto again, Red Bank, New Jersey, Northampton, Massachusetts, Concord, New Hampshire, Rutherford, New Jersey, Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.